welcome to my pick a card channel, the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy and I'm here with a pick a card reading for you. And today's pick a card is all about December love predictions. So December 2025, what can you expect in love? Maybe you're single, maybe you're hoping that your connection that you're in right now will deepen in the month of December. What can you expect? I do have 3 piles to choose from here today, and it is Christmas themed, but this is a very open reading. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to celebrate Christmas. You could celebrate Yule, you could celebrate Hanukkah, you could celebrate Kwanzaa, whatever you feel drawn to. There could be messages waiting for you today. I do have 3 piles to choose from. Pile number 1 here with this little girl with the muff and the Merry Christmas. We have pile number 2 with the packages and presents. We have pile number 3 here with the, I don't know if they're holly berries or what sort of berries these are, with the little girl with the berries. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there could be messages today waiting from your spirit team. Again, today's reading is all about what can you expect in love in December 2025. My timestamps are always listed below, and I'm going to jump into pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to this card with the little hand warmer, and this is your reading. What can you expect in December of 2025 when it comes to love? Now, this card speaks to the hands are being warmed and they're kind of being hidden in there. So there could be an experience of warmth, or maybe a period of warmth after a coldness. So if you've been waiting to hear from someone, perhaps there will be progress within that. This could also speak of surprises that are going to be coming out for you as well. The bow around her neck or around her hat always makes me think of somebody who thinks very highly of you, or you think very highly of them. So let's take a look and see what you can expect in the month of December 2025 if you were drawn to pile number 1, in love. We have Death and the Hermit coming out first, in first position. We have the Devil, a lot of Capricorn, a lot of Virgo. We have the 9 of Cups. We have the Moon. We have the Page of Wands. Back of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. We also have the 9 of Pentacles. And there's the Page of Cups. Okay, what's interesting here is that I feel like you're waiting for someone specific to perhaps come forward in December 2025. And yet I feel like you're going to be surprised in December, because while you wait, while this person sort of sits on their laurels, I do feel like there's other things that are coming in for you. I feel like this person is kind of setting themselves up for failure because the delays only make you feel frustrated. And she's holding on to this timepiece as well. So again, maybe you've been waiting. Maybe this person does kind of have your focus, or you have a crush on this person, or you really kind of have your hopes in that basket. But I feel like their delays are going to end up costing them a good opportunity. What's interesting is that I feel as though you're going to be going out in December, and I think you're going to be looking really good. We have the 9 of Pentacles here, and they want you to. They don't want you to wait for news to make plans. They want you to go out. They want you to have fun. It's going to be very, very important. You're going to be getting the attention from someone. And I think you're going to be attracted to a new person actually in December. And what's really interesting is that the person that you're anticipating might come forward in December. I think you're going to see them in that month. I think you're going to see them when you're out and about, and you may even be with another person at that time, because it feels literally like this, like 2 ships passing in the night, and then there's this temptation that comes in because you're fishing in the sea. She's literally fishing. There's more fish in the sea, and Spirit wants you to understand that that might be revealed to you in December of 2025. This devil energy, she's sitting here, she's made of the toadstool. She also has this huge spider sitting on her lap, and 2 spider webs sitting beside her. So this person's insecurity or fears are being highlighted, but it doesn't mean that you don't also have insecurities and fears. But the difference between you and them is that you're not going to let that stop you from going out, having fun, going after what you want, for instance. It's like your thirst is going to lead you on a new expedition in some way. And they're going to weave their own destiny. And I feel like they have almost a karmic hit or some sort of harsh truth that's going to face them, because they're going to see you out. You're going to be out and about, and they're going to see you, and you're going to be looking good, and you're not going to be alone. I don't think they're going to approach you at this time, and I don't think you're going to approach them, but it makes a huge impact. And not that we want this as an outcome, but it does sort of put this person into a mental prison about their own hesitation. And it's bringing me back to this scene here with the hand warmer, where she, somebody's left you out in the cold. And so you're going to go seeking warmth. You're going to go seeking that warmth from someone else. You're the Eight of Cups. Because they're referencing feeling dissatisfied with what you're experiencing. On the floor, we do have Judgment coming in reverse. So it's not that you don't still have feelings for this person that you're anticipating or that you want to see come forward in December. It's that you are frustrated, and despite the weakness that this person, you have a weakness for this person, and despite the fear of change, Spirit does really feel like things are moving in your favor and you don't even realize it. And you don't even realize it. And then they say, I think that ultimately, because of the influence here, all of a sudden this person pops up out of the blue. I think that they reach out as well near the end of that month, or maybe even moving into January. I think that they pop up out of the blue because they've seen you out and they've seen you with other people. All of a sudden it starts to spark intent, or it starts to spark action from them. Let's see what's under here. Here's the Eight of Wands. So even though it may not feel like it in this moment, things are actually moving more in your favor than you realize, because it sort of feels like when it rains, it pours for you in December. Now these results, these beautiful results, could be contingent upon your action. That's why they're asking you to follow your inspiration. They're asking you to follow your thirst. They don't want you to be waiting around for contact, because they really feel like the impact that this person feels once they realize that you're not sitting here passively just waiting for them to arrive is going to be what actually makes them take some sort of action towards you. It's like the way that you kind of choose how you see the fortune in your moment. The Wheel of Fortune is always sitting there waiting for us to either push it or to kind of push it behind us. And sometimes we can sit and be waiting and feel dissatisfied with the wait, and we can sink into that feeling of loss and into that feeling of disappointment, and then we do nothing because we feel helpless. And that will create perhaps a different outcome for you. But in this case, Spirit sees you taking action instead. It's like, I'm not going to sit around the house and wait for someone to call. I'm going out. And when you're out, all of a sudden they see you. They don't approach you, but it's a very isolating experience for them. I think it's very humbling, to be honest with you. It's a very humbling experience, because all of a sudden it lights a fire. There's this fire that gets lit underneath their intention. They become more curious. I'm hearing the term Toucan Sam, so Sam could be an important name for you as well. Here is the Four of Pentacles on the back of deck, and there's the Three of Swords. Now, the Four of Pentacles does show you stuck in the in-between. It does show that maybe the ideal, because ideally you would probably want this person to reach out without sort of any fire being lit underneath them, or without any negative inspiration. You would want them to just reach out and for things to progress naturally. Unfortunately, Spirit says we're kind of taking it a little bit of a side mission here in order to, I don't even want to say encourage this person to come forward, but it does encourage them to come forward. And they're not even saying that you necessarily will want to go down that path with them once they do, because all of a sudden you have these options that come through. They are saying that this person, again, there's a bit of vulnerability connected to them. You may have your heart set upon them, for instance, as well. But rest assured, you're going to be justified in the month of December. Because not only do I feel you exploring a new path, I also feel like the exploration on that new path is actually what's going to trigger this person into reaching out to you. Although I do feel like them reaching out to you could come in and around the beginning of January. Or could be late in December, but I do feel like they push that time limit a little bit too far. It's like the fear of loss makes them act. Yeah. We have unrequited love. I've never liked the message on this card where it says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. I do feel like you feel unrequited at the beginning of the month. I think that's what causes you to kind of take action, to step into your own empowerment, to step into your own independence, and then to go out, for instance, with friends. But you feel this way. You feel ignored or overlooked at first. And honestly, the way that you feel might make an impact on the decisions that you make moving in the future, even when this person does reach out, because they will. We have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And we have finances and career coming forward. And we have you deserve love. But you can see how they're holding back the bow, which is a lot of pressure, a lot of weight to hold back. It's about 45, 50 pounds of pressure to hold back that bow. This person, and we have flirt, extending your lighthearted energy to others. When this person on your mind reaches out near the end of December, early January, they're going to ask for forgiveness, and they're going to blame a lot of outside sources. They're going to blame their career. They're going to blame their job. They're going to ask you for forgiveness. They're going to tell you that they didn't hold back because they didn't like you. It's just because they had all of these things going on. But the real reason why they came forward in that moment is because they see you flirting with someone else. They see you extending your energy to other people. And that, honestly, I feel like it lights a fire inside them. I feel like it makes them have a fear of God, so to speak. So get ready for big breakthroughs in the connection on your mind nearing the end of the month. But also understand that what you could be attracted to that steers you away from that focus could also be very enticing. We have know your worth, and push through the insecurities that the beginning of the month and people's lack of effort creates like a discord or an insecurity within you. We have think it through. And this is where Spirit says once this person does reach out near the end of that month or the beginning of next, make sure that you are listening to the notes of your own intuition and not tolerating less than what you deserve by going down a path that may not have shown you the attention that you are worth in the beginning of that cycle. But I think overall, it's going to be a very satisfying month for you overall. I think that you're going to feel justified. We have hope. An idea like a single acorn can start a wondrous forest. We also have friends. The most unlikely friendships can form like variegated lichens on a hard rock. They create a tight bond. And this could be down the new path that you are exploring, because it's through these new friendships that you're forming where you're teaching a lesson, inspiring others, and let nature be your greatest teacher. So you're inspiring others through new friendships that you're making in December. So give yourself the permission to do so. Don't sit around the house. Spirit says don't let this person's weakness become your weakness in December of 2025. And ultimately, you're going to get some of the results that you're looking for anyway. Oh, we have an H in the bowl. Let's get some teeny tiny tarot for you, pile one, about what to expect in love in December of 2025. World, unfinished business, justice, out of the bowl, reversed. We have the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is like having to deviate from an expectation. It does speak to like disappointment, but it's sitting in a state of limbo. So it's not complete disappointment. It's just rewriting your expectations and rewriting a new plan for you. And it's almost, they want you to go with the flow with whatever's happening for you as well, because there's corrections that are being made in the month of December. And they want us to acknowledge that in this moment, the justice speaks to things not being fair. Someone maybe being dishonest, or someone not bringing forward their truth. So there's a feeling of unfairness that triggers this person back towards you, who then seeks forgiveness from you. And then you get to decide which avenue, which path you want to walk in. We have here in the bowl the Star of Aquarius. And they're speaking about like sadness or depression. They don't want you to lock yourself in because you're feeling disappointed. We have this lock that's actually open now in the bowl. And they're speaking about allowing yourself freedom. And we have the white whale tail of expression. They, especially when this person does reach out to you, I feel like the person on your mind will, but I feel like it's only after they are triggered into it, or after they are influenced by seeing you in the world or hearing that you're out in the world, for instance. Make sure that you are also empowering yourself by being honest during that communication cycle. All right, pile number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. Please drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personalized reading as well. And I just hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to this card, which shows a little girl with all of her presents. And this is your reading about December 2025 in love. What can you expect? Now, this card does speak to perhaps receiving something, receiving gifts, or she could be giving something as well. It's giving me a lot of like Little Red Riding Hood sort of vibes too. And then I just heard the term into the woods, which could also mean deep contemplation with regards to what you're going to experience in December in love. So you might have something to decide or something to contemplate as well. So let's take a look and see. For pile number 2 for December 2025, what can be expected in love? We have the 8 of Pentacles, the King of Cups, we have the Lovers, Seven of Pentacles, the Six of Swords. Back of the deck we have the King of Wands. We also have the Five of Swords. Let's clarify this as we go forward. Four of Pentacles. I almost feel as if you're in a relationship or you're dating someone, for instance, or you're talking to someone right now, I think that they're going to do something to irritate you. Spirit says that they're going to act foolishly. It could cause some sort of conflict or an argument. Here's the Six of Cups. And it's like this person's ego plays a role, but they're not an unkind or an unloving person. They're a very loving person, and I feel like they care about you quite a bit. I feel like instead of like an apology after an argument in December, this person gives you a gift. And it's like their way of apologizing. Now that may or may not suit you. It may or may not be enough. That will be something for you to reflect upon. And if I was being honest, for some, it almost feels like that's what the argument's about. It's about a present or a gift. It almost feels like a homemade gift or something small or something simple. And maybe there's a discord surrounding the gift, but it's like it could even be like a gift that you don't want or something that doesn't make sense to you, because I feel like there's almost an argument over the gift in some way. And I think they replace a gift or something, because they're talking about having to train this person, or you feeling like you're training them over time in a way. And it's not necessarily in a sense of you thinking it's your responsibility to train a person, but they're just referencing how someone should know better than to give a gift like this, or they should know better than to stick their foot in their mouth in the way that they do. It's like the divine masculine in the month of December might be acting foolish, and it has to do with exchanges, conversations that you have. And I feel like the more that this person opens their mouth, sometimes the deeper a hole that they dig for themselves, truthfully. Because it's almost like they're clueless about why they're in trouble or why the two of you are having an argument. And it's very obvious to everyone else around them why the argument would have to be necessary in your perspective. Two of Swords. There could also be an aspect of travel in December with this person. And that could be where there's like denial, where like I can't go with you, or I can't travel with you as well, happening in December. And I can't deny, like, I feel like this person is a really good person. I feel like they have a really good heart. I just also feel like, again, their ego plays such a major role that they're not used to being called out for certain things. And you know who you are and you know what you want out of a relationship. It almost feels like you're in this relationship in December. That you're actually in the relationship. And that could mean that this person does require time to be able to get to know your likes, your dislikes, for instance. But it feels like you're in this relationship in December. I do feel like there's a bit of a rough patch that you could expect to experience because of some sort of argument or discord. And again, I think it's because of their behaviors or something they do or do not do for you. I think that they try to correct it with a gift, and I think that there could be gift giving in connection with the conflict as well. And they keep bringing up for someone in the collective that there could be like a homemade gift associated with it. And for some people really love that, and for others they're just like, well, you didn't put any effort in. So there's just this little bit of discord that you could expect in the month of December within your relationship. And for some, you're in the relationship, and for others, maybe you're just talking, but in your opinion, you're in the relationship. It's like, as far as I'm concerned, we're together. And that could be a part of this discord as well, of like plans being made and not being considered. And I also feel like the Into the Woods is coming back, because even after the two of you get to a place of peace about the situation with the Six of Swords, like we talk it out, we get to a place of peace, it kind of triggers this person having to work on something within themselves. There's still a little bit of insecurity. I feel like you are not being honest about the peace when it comes in. When we have the conversations, when we have the talks about peace, I feel like you're still holding on to a little bit of resentment. And that could be coming from them as well, but holding on to a little bit of resentment. And it feels like someone in this argument feels like they're lowering their own standards when it comes to bringing peace into the situation. So you may feel like you're folding, for instance, during an argument, or you're letting something go, but deep down there's still a little bit of resentment. And that's why Spirit says you're going into the woods. Like after December, after you experience what you experience in this relationship, you have some reflection to do about what path you want to take moving forward. If you want to continue to build on this path, for instance, whether you want to work on the partnership, I feel like you will continue to work on the partnership. And for some, the issue or the argument could be in connection to like distance and effort being put in during that month. Effort being put into travel, effort being put into gifts, and just effort being put into effort. So you start to overthink because of, I feel like this is an old argument too. It's like you start to overthink. You wonder what's coming next. You wonder if it's always going to be like this. And that's where the Into the Woods energy goes in. Now, I will say this, because Spirit feels like that this could most likely help in your reflection period. Again, I feel like this person wants to be who you want them to be. I feel like they are someone who does care about you. They may not always know exactly how to say the right thing. I feel like they stick their foot in their mouth a lot. I think they make jokes too often. In situations that should be serious, they make too many jokes. But I think they do have a good heart, and I do think they do care about you quite a bit. I feel like they want to be generous with you. They want to give you what you're looking for. I just feel like they honestly don't always know how. They're still learning how to love you and how to deepen this connection. So Spirit does encourage you to take your time during a reflection after this month of December. They encourage you to never ever tolerate less than what you deserve, of course, but they're also speaking about how this type of discord and this connection could just be a temporary situation where it's natural learning curves in a relationship, when we're learning how to be there for each other, learning how to be communicative in an effective way. We're learning each other is what it feels like. But I feel like there's a little bit of discord you might be able to expect in this month, or in the month of December 2025. I just got this reference of someone having a conflict with a Christmas dinner, so take that as it resonates. We have let go of control issues and allow the situation to unfold naturally. And there could be an aspect of, it doesn't feel like rigid control, but it's about expectations maybe not being met. And it's not something devastating to the connection. I don't feel like it has the potential to break you up in the month of December, for instance. It's just teaching you to perhaps relax a little bit as far as planning and expectations. This person on your mind definitely doesn't, they feel like they aren't doing what you expect of them or jumping through the hoops of their expectations, of your expectations rather. And so this may be a opportunity for both of you to go with the flow of this connection. And again, we're learning each other. We do have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. And we have true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. And the truth is that I feel like there is a willingness to work. Even if it's challenging, there's a willingness to put the energy in here. There could be upgrades that follow this connection moving into the future. And I do feel like there is a deep connection that's either already present or has the likelihood to build upon past that month and taking you into January, or taking you even into 2026 overall. But even after the peace comes in, there's still some hidden resentment or something. And Spirit encourages you to reflect upon that, or to be open and honest with yourself and others during that period as well. We have embrace the flow of life. Again, letting go of control issues. We have here finding a balance. There is a reference to not trying to force this person into the box of your own design, of like making them the person you want them to be in the moment. We have release control. And that's now here almost the third time that they've mentioned that. The release of the control, the letting go of control issues, the embracing the flow of life overall. And they're actually saying that these types of like conflicts, small arguments, discord, that they're the natural opportunities for us to collaborate with each other and to help each other through periods of frustration. That's how we build belonging. We have transform and emerge with beauty and grace from your cocoon. We also have uncertainty on the back of the deck. The shades of gray within the fog will eventually lift. So even when you go into the woods, I still feel like you're going to come out of this period with a desire to be more supportive of each other. I feel like you will get through this patch. I don't feel like even the resentment or the fear or the worry that you hold on to is going to last overall. Let's get a charm bowl. And I think one of the biggest issues that it's like a big issue that creates some of the tension, and then it's like we pick up on little tiny things that annoy us, and it's actually not because of those little tiny things, it's because of the big issue, and it could be distance between the two of you. So this could be a long distance for someone, for instance, or there could be conflicting schedules with family expectations. Two of Wands, reverse, King of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. It's like frustration. Frustration, there's a feeling of like delays that come in as well. And honestly, it feels like frustration coming from both sides of the coin. Right now, they were highlighting the Divine Feminine a lot in the reading, but now in the bowl, they're talking about frustration for the Divine Masculine too. It's like they get equally as frustrated during these conflicts, especially about distance, for instance, as you do. In the bowl here, we do have the Divine Masculine is the Ten of Swords reversed. I always think of when I see that fishbone, and it's connected to the Divine Masculine when it's blue. When it's reversed, the Ten of Swords speaks of forgiveness. So again, if we're having arguments, there is a forgiveness cycle that does show up in December 2025 as well. We have the Dawn Ruin. We have Scorpio, the letter F and U. So people could be sticking their foot in their mouth. We also have here listening to the notes of intuition. We have lots of potential with the pine cone, and we have made with love. Sometimes that's a reference to children. We do have a reference here to children with the Divine Masculine, so that could be a father figure of some kind, or this person could have children, for instance. All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. Drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me. You just have to be subscribed to the channel, hit your notification bell, and leave any comment below for your chance to win a free reading. And if you're chosen for the free reading, I will notify you beneath your comment and give you directions on how to reach out to me so we can get the ball rolling. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personalized reading as well, and that link is always updated. But I hope you come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You are drawn to this card with the little person in the coat, and this is your reading for December 2025 in love. What can you expect? Now, when I look at this card, I see these like holly berries or whatever type of berry they're supposed to be. They're also showing me like the coat and the fact that there's the 4 buttons on the coat, and makes me think of the 4 of Pentacles. So you could have a lot of family plans in December of 2025. You may have to travel for some of these plans because they're really giving me the sense of like going out, traveling, having to go from town to town, for instance. So this could impact the love realm for you. Maybe because you're busy and it makes you unavailable. But let's take a look here for December 2025 in love, please. What can pile number 3 expect? Ooh, I just got a reference to going to your hometown. So that could also be something significant. Something could be happening in the hometown where you grew up. We have the Hierophant. We have the 4 of Cups. We have the 8 of Cups. We have the King of Cups. And we have the Ace of Cups. Back of the deck, we have the 8 of Wands. They're also showing me the 8 of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. And they're showing me the World. Now, I am reading for the collective, so I do have a lot of different energies that float in. So please take the messages as they resonate and leave behind those that do not. If a message doesn't fit, we don't try to make it fit. I got a very specific message about like midnight mass, or it could be like a large religious institution, for instance. So if you're going to church on Christmas time, or if you have a religious ceremony that you like to adhere to, there could be something that happens or a person that you see in that environment or in that type of institution. Because it almost feels like you're seeing someone that you never intended to see again or something. Here's the Knight of Swords. Here's the 5 of Pentacles. Here's the 7 of Pentacles. Here's the Queen of Cups. Because this feels like something you've walked away from. And this could have been like a separation from the past where you didn't feel like there's a lot of momentum, or you didn't feel like there was a lot of possibility for healing or growth here. Here's the Knight of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. It feels like you are seeing someone that you knew in the past, and it feels like you're seeing them in a place where conversation at first is kind of challenging and hard. Now, we all know that after church, you can gather, you can connect with people, you can chat. I feel like there's a challenge even between the two of you of talking. Because it feels like we're seeing someone again that we saw when we were young, or maybe we grew up with them, and then we're going back home for the holidays, and we're seeing somebody that we had a significant past with. Now, what's interesting is that I feel like you both have moved into other cycles. Maybe you've moved into independence. There's like a strong mother-father type of energy here. So your parents could be with you at this time, for instance, or you could both be parents. And this is, again, someone that you felt like you had left behind, or something that you felt was over. And then this moment makes you realize that there's still an attraction here. And it's like gives you an opportunity to perhaps You may call it closure, but Spirit actually is saying it's like an opportunity to change the perspective, an opportunity to change the plan, because they keep highlighting the world, and this world has all of these swords around it. And it also looks like the sun. So it's so many different cards accumulated into one place. It gives you the opportunity for closure, but you have to tap into your strength to be able to approach this person. But I feel like you're worried about what's going to happen if you do. Like there's a guarded energy. You're worried about what happens if you talk to this person. And this person's being very strategic. They're kind of, I think they're going to take a passive approach towards you. And that's part of their strategy, is to see if you come towards them, if your focus is on them at all, if you're looking at them. Now here with the Nine of Pentacles and the Hanged Man and the Queen of Pentacles, there is the potential that you are going to sort of just seem distracted or try to ignore them or something. But here's the Page of Pentacles. He's about to plant a seed here. And Spirit says if you don't go up and talk to this person, when you have the opportunity to see them in that environment, you're going to always wonder and think about that moment. And that's not necessarily them telling you you have to do it. They're just giving you all the information you may need to make that decision. But they say that the opportunity will be there. This person may take a passive approach. If you don't approach them, I think that you're going to always wonder what would have happened if you did, what you would have learned, what could have opened up for you. And I just keep getting this reference of you're both full grown now. You're both full grown, and it's very evident. Now, this energy of the King and Queen of Cups, it doesn't mean that either one of you are in a commitment. It doesn't mean that this person is committed. It does mirror, however, how you're feeling about them could be how they're feeling about you. And your hesitation to step up and lead could also be matched by their hesitation to step up and lead. But it's like there's an opportunity that lies in the balance. And sometimes this Knight of Swords just has to go for it when they get that opportunity, when they get that chance. Because Spirit says it will be fleeting. That moment won't last forever, or the opportunity to see them will not last forever. Because again, it feels like it's time sensitive, or they showed me like a church, or it could be a mosque, or it could be any type of religious building, or any type of building where a lot of people gather together for a main purpose, for instance. You're not going there planning to see this person. You don't even know that they're going to be there. But once you get there, there they are. You're full grown. And if you are having to go out of town, for instance, to travel around the holidays, I feel like either you or this person doesn't have to travel. So they may live in that town, or you may live in this town, and they're coming in from out of town. But regardless, you're going to cross paths. And now Spirit's letting you know that you're going to cross paths so that you can contemplate and decide if you want to invest something, even if it's just a conversation. Again, there's this strong momentum that's kind of pulling you here towards at least clarity, at least the conversation. It might, at the very least, eradicate your what ifs or your thoughts or your fears, because there's like closure cycles, or like closure that was never perhaps created in a situation. So I feel like December actually has a great big opportunity. That's why we start with the Hierophant. It acts as a door frame. And in order for us to get through that door frame, we have to overcome certain hurdles, like this Five of Pentacles, like fear, like worry, like insecurity, to just take action and leap over the hurdle, come what may. But unfortunately, in this case, Spirit says the Divine Feminine might have to step up and lead in that moment, because the Divine Masculine may not have the courage. Not to say that they are without responsibility. They absolutely are. We just can't rely on them, unfortunately. But there is so much potential. The Ace of Cups. Spirit says if you face the unknown, or if one of you faces the unknown, there could be potential here for not just expression and closure, but potentially building upon the Ace of Cups. And in the very least, Spirit says if you act, even if they don't act, you will feel more justified. No matter what reception you receive, you'll know that you left no stone unturned. You have the Page of Pentacles. You may have gone to school with this person, And if you do talk to each other, I feel like that's what you might talk about, is something nostalgic. Here's the Queen of Pentacles, and here's the Three of Wands, and here's the Ace of Wands. And it seems to inspire growth of some kind. You'll notice it's the Queen of Pentacles that's doing all of the work in this scene. She's doing all of the work. It's also a beautiful card of evolution from this Page of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles. So there's this growth energy in you. And this person, especially if you're the Divine Feminine, they're going to think that you've grown into such a beauty, truly. It's like, I knew you when you were in this state, but now you're this and you're everything. The Queen of Pentacles can do everything. She nurtures, she works, she's confident, she's an entrepreneur, she's all of these wonderful things. And as you notice, the domino effect, the Ace of Wands, the Three of Wands, the Page of Cups, it speaks to opportunities that require creative accountability that are going to pop up suddenly. And your higher self is worried about a tendency from both of your energies to retreat when things like this happen, when opportunities like this happen, and now the strength is coming out, encouraging us to push through those moments of insecurity. Now, Spirit says if we take too long in that opportunity, there might be loss or regret. So they're saying it's all dependent upon what we want to surrender to. Do we want to surrender to strength, or do we want to surrender to fear? We have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life, or you're going to cross paths with someone from the past. We have let go of control issues. This came in pile number 2 as well. And they keep showing me here, staying optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking could bring you romance, and free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Don't keep yourself limited because of preconceived opinions of what could happen if you do just kind of put yourself out there. It may all start with one conversation. Ooh. Now we do have leave the past behind, so that could be sort of the push and pull. We have the last quarter moon in Capricorn, so there's like an attachment to insecurity, but how we should leave the past where it is. We have clear your mind. And then we have relax. So you may even just feel, it says push through any insecurity. You may just feel like a conversation for closure or clarity might be necessary. But you may also be surprised at what happens as a domino effect when you do find the confidence to step up and lead in that moment. Not only may it kind of eradicate the fear of any unknowns that you may have in the connection, but it may also eradicate this idea that the necessity is to leave the past completely behind, because it seems to open up the possibilities of change here. And it feels like you're in your Sunday best. You know what I mean? You're dressed up. They're just highlighting. When I was a little girl, my parents used to take us to church. I would sometimes see these little girls in fur coats in the church. And I used to want one so bad, a fur coat. It's like somebody who dresses up really well for the ceremony. It feels religious in nature for some. It doesn't have to be for others. It could just be some type of reunion, some type of holiday gathering. We have here cleanse and wash your weary spirit clean and take a walk in the wooded glade. We also have grounded. Keep to your roots and stand taller than the trees. And joy. Spread seeds of joy like a wildflower, and no doubt you will revel in the result. We also have nature that continually renews itself year after year. So there is something coming back around that you have known from the past. And ultimately, the momentum will be established if you are the one who spreads seeds of joy, because they are musing and saying that this divine masculine energy may take a very passive approach. So there is opportunity that does open up for you, pile number 3, in December of 2025. And Spirit just wants to know if you're going to take the opportunity. Yeah, there's the 8 of Pentacles. There's work to be done, a benchmark of opportunity. And it may have been years for someone watching since you've seen this person. Like they've all grown up. We have the Sun and we have the 9 of Pentacles. They want to reestablish your freedom of choice. They understand that the fear of coming forward, it's almost like mirroring mirroring your inner child or the past version of you. They're also highlighting children. So you may have known this person when you were children, but there also could be children invested or in your lives at this time as well. There's a feeling of like having a crush or feeling very satisfied if and when you do step forward as well. We have here special, and we have forever sitting on its edge. We have the yin yang, and we have Pisces energy. It says, I love you to the moon and back. This is a quote from a children's book. We also have the trumpet, which for me is all about judgment. So reflection that leads to action, reflecting what we can do, the steps that we can take to create change. Pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. Drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personalized reading as well. And I just hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.